Okay, this video is going to cover pre-algebra multiplying and dividing fractions and mixed numbers. It's very straightforward, just multiplying straight across fractions. And if we have a mixed number, convert it to an improper fraction and then multiply straight across. In some situations, we can reduce to make the multiplying a lot easier. So the first problem, it asks us to find each product. So let's go ahead and start with that one. So it's -5/4 times 1/3. Nothing can reduce, and I'll show you in number 2 how to reduce them. So let's just multiply straight across. -5 times 1 gives us -5 over 4 times 3 gives us 12. We can't reduce that, so it's -5/12. Number 2. So if you have the 8 and the 10, what you can do is reduce those by a factor of 2. So 2 goes into 8 4 times, 2 goes into 10 5 times. Looking at the 7s, because 7 and 7 both are multiples of each other, we can just divide each by 7. So 7 goes into 7 one time, 7 goes into this 7 one time, multiply straight across. 4 times 1 gives us 4 over 1 times 5 is 5. And that's our final answer, 4/5. Number 3. 4/9 times 7/4. Again, the 4 and the 4 can reduce to 1 on each. 7 and 9 can't be reduced, so we just multiply straight across. 1 times 7 gives us 7 over 9 times 1 gives us 9, and we end up with 7/9. Number 4. -2/3 times 5/4. So nothing reduces, actually the 2 and the 4 reduce by a factor of 2. 2 goes into 2 once, 2 goes into 4 twice. The 5 and the 3 can't reduce, so we can multiply straight across. -1 times 5 gives us -5 over 3 times 2 gives us 6. So we end up with -5/6. Number 5. -2 times 3/7. So we can put that -2 over 1. Nothing can cross reduce, so -2 times 3 gives us -6 over 1 times 7 is 7. We end up with -6/7. Number 6. -2 2/3 times 4 1/10. So what we want to do is actually write these as improper fractions. So we do 3 times -2 is -6, plus 2 gives us -8 over 3. And I know the way I said that doesn't work, so it's actually 3 times 2 is 6, plus 2 is 8, and it's a -8/3. Okay, 4 1/10 can be rewritten as 10 times 4 is 40, plus 1 gives us 41 over 10. Now we see the 8 and the 10 can reduce by a factor of 2. 2 goes into 8 4 times, 2 goes into 10 5 times. We multiply straight across, we get 4 times 41 is 164, divided by 3 times 5 gives us 15. 15 goes into 164 10 times. 10 times 15 is 150. 164 minus 150 gives us 14 left over, 15. And 10 and 14 fifteenths is our final answer. Number 7. -2 1/5 times -1 3/4. Again, you always have to write it as an improper fraction. You don't have to actually, but it's going to make it a lot easier if you do. So let's write -2 1/5 as an improper fraction. 5 times -2 is 10, plus 1 is 11, so we get -11 over 5 times 4 times 1 is 4, plus 3 is -7 over 4. Nothing reduces, so we need to multiply straight across. -11 times -7 is positive 77 over 5 times 4 gives us 20. 20 goes into 77 3 times. 3 times 20 is 60, so 77 minus 60 gives us 17 over 20, and that is our final answer. Number 8. -1 1/4 times 9. So we do 4 times 1 is 4, plus 1 is 5, so we get -5 over 4 times 9. We can write over 1. Nothing reduces, so we multiply straight across. -5 times positive 9 is -45 over 4. 4 goes into 45 11 times. Got to keep that negative. -11 times 4 is -44. -44 -45 minus 44 rather gives us 1 left over. 4, so we end up with negative 11 over negative 11 and 1/4. Okay, number 9. Negative 1 and 5/7 times negative 2 and 1/2. So we go ahead and rewrite it as an improper fraction again. 7 times 1 is 7, plus 5 is 12. So we get negative 12 over 7 times 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5, so we get negative 5 halves. We can reduce the 12 and the 2. They both have a common factor of 2. 2 goes into 12 6 times, 2 goes into 2 once. Multiply straight across. Negative 6 times negative 5 gives us positive 30 over 7. 7 goes into 30 4 times with 2 left over, 7. So we get 4 and 2/7. Number 10. Negative 2 and 3/8 times 2 and 1/2. So let's go ahead and rewrite it as an improper fraction again. 8 times 2 is 16, plus 3 is 19, so we get negative 19 over 8 times 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 gives us 5 over 2. We can't cross-reduce anything. You see the 2 and the 8, even though those are multiples of each other, or 2 is a multiple of both, you can't reduce that way. You can only either cross-reduce or reduce a fraction, a numerator over a denominator. So what we can do, all we can do is really just multiply straight across. So 19 times 5 gives us 95 over 16. And we got to make sure that we put that negative. And 95 goes into 16 5 times, so we get negative 5. 5 times 16 gives us 80. 95 minus 80 gives us 15 left over, 16. So we end up with negative 5 and 15/16. Okay, number 11. Find each quotient. Now everything is the same. All you have to do is reciprocate the 7/4 in this example. Just flip it and put a multiple sign. So we end up getting negative 1/5 times, now we change the division to multiplication, and then you got to flip the 7/4 or get the reciprocal of it. So we can multiply straight across because we can't reduce. Negative 1 times 4 is negative 4 over 5 times 7 gives us 35, and that's our final answer. Number 12. Negative 1/2 times 5/4, we're going to make 4/5. We can reduce the 2 and the 4. They both have a multiple of 2. 2 goes into 4 2 times. 2 goes into 1 once. 2 goes into 2 once. Negative 1 times 2 gives us negative 2 over 1 times 5 gives us 5. We end up with negative 2/5. Okay, number 13. Negative 3/2. We're just going to rewrite that, and instead of divided by, we're going to put multiplied, and then flip the negative 10 over 7. So we end up getting 7 over 10, and that's a negative. We can't reduce anywhere, so we're going to multiply straight across. Negative 3 times negative 7 is positive 21 over 2 times 10 gives us 20. 20 goes into 21 one time with 1 left over, 20. And that's our final answer. Number 14. 1/2 times 7/8. We can't cross-reduce anywhere, so let's multiply straight across. 1 times 7 gives us 7 over 2 times 8 is 16, and that's our final answer on that one. Number 15. Negative 9/5 divided by 2. I'm just going to put the 2 over 1. So let's go ahead and rewrite that as negative 9 over 5 times 1 over 2. We can't cross-reduce anywhere, so let's multiply straight across. Negative 9 times 1 is negative 9 over 5 times 2 gives us 10. So we end up getting negative 9/10. Number 16. Negative 3 and 5/9 divided by 3 over 1. So let's go ahead and rewrite that negative 3 and 5/9. 9 times 3 is 27. 27 plus 5 gives us 32. So we end up with negative 32 over 9 times 1 over 3. 3 does not go into 32 evenly, so we just multiply straight across. Negative 32 times positive 1 gives us negative 32 over 9 times 3 is 27. 27 goes into 32 once. Even though it goes into it once, we still have to put that negative because it's a negative divided by a positive with 5 left over, and then we put the denominator 27. Okay, number 17. Negative 2 divided by negative 3 and 4/5. So let's go ahead and write that negative 2 over 1 times 5 times 3 is 15, plus 4 is 19, so we write negative 19 over 5. And nothing can reduce, so we just multiply straight across. 2 times negative 19 gives us 38 over 1 times 5 is 5, and it's a positive 38 because it's a negative times a negative. 5 goes into 38 7 times with 3 left over, 5. 7 3/5 is our final answer for number 17. Okay, number 18. 1/9, so just go ahead and rewrite 1/9 times, and then we're going to rewrite this mixed number as an improper fraction. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 1 is 4. So this part equals 4/3 negative. So we're just going to multiply by the reciprocal, which would end up being negative 3 over 4. You can see that the 3 and the 9 can reduce. 3 goes into 3 once, 3 goes into 9 3 times. Multiply straight across, we end up getting negative 1 over 12, and that's our final answer. Number 19. 1 6/7 divided by 5 3/4. So again, let's write as an improper fraction. 7 times 1 is 7, plus 6 gives us 13 over 7 times 4 times 5 is 20, plus 3 gives us 23 over 4. I'm just going to rewrite that right here, 23 over 4, and we got to multiply by the reciprocal, so we get 4 over 23. Nothing reduces here, so we just have to multiply straight across. So we end up getting 13 times 4 is 52. 23 times 7 ends up giving us 161. And because nothing reduced in this part, nothing is going to reduce here, and that's our final answer. Okay, number 20. Negative 3 7/10 divided by 2 1/4. So let's go ahead and rewrite this as 10 times 3 is 30, plus 7 is 37, so we get negative 37 over 10 times 2 1/4 can be rewritten as 4 times 2 is 8, plus 1 is 9 over 4, multiplied by the reciprocal, so it's 4 over 9. 4 and the 10 reduce, they both have a factor of 2. 2 goes into 4 2 times, 2 goes into 10 5 times, and that's all we can do right now. Negative 37 times 2 gives us negative 74 over 5 times 9 is 45. 45 goes into 74 one time with 29 left over, 45. And that is it for multiplying and dividing fractions and mixed numbers.